KUGAN CASSIUS here with Paulie Malignaggi.
Cougs, what are we doing over here? You always find me, Cougs. I gotta give you credit, bro. No matter where I am, if you're in the building, you always find me.
You spend more time here.
There's no hiding from KUGAN CASSIUS. None. At all.
You spend more time here than in Brooklyn.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
It's close.
How do you see this fight going this week between Joshua Klitschko?
You know, it's a matter of, obviously it's a big fight. It's the biggest, toughest opponent for Anthony Joshua, but it's also a thing about, for me anyway, you're catching Klitschko at the right time. You know, 18 months old, 41 years old. You know, sometimes in life, everything's about timing. You know, I think prime Vladimir Klitschko is a very, very tough proposition for Anthony Joshua. But Joshua is getting better and better every fight, and I think Klitschko is on the downslide. And I think even from a mental perspective, you know, you think you want to be in a fight like this, but when Joshua comes in the middle ring and he's facing you, he's punching you, you're going to ask yourself, do you really want to be here? Because at that age, you don't like to be in these kind of give and take type of affairs, these give and take type of fights. And Vladimir is good at avoiding them, but at his age, can he still avoid that kind of punishment? We'll see. So
that's what you believe, that Joshua's catching him just at the right time by fighting him now, yeah.
And that's what boxing's about. You know, the new champions take out the ex-champions, and they sort of start to build their legacy from there. And it's kind of as par for the course for what happens normally in boxing. What
about from a gambling side, from Joshua's side? Is it much of a gamble, do you believe?
Yeah, of course it's a gamble. Yeah, no, Klitschko's still the best opponent Anthony Joshua's faced. You know, let's face it, Joshua has to prove he's quality in order to win this fight. I believe he has the quality to win this fight, but he's going to have to prove it. And if he's slacking in any way, I mean, Klitschko doesn't need very many shots to land to get you out of there. You know what I mean? Vladimir is sharp. He's got a sharp jab, sharp right hand. He's able to find the distance and range with it. You know, I think Joshua doesn't have the most head movement in the world. You know, that's one thing I would like to see a little bit more of from Joshua's head movement. So, you know, we'll see.
A lot going on in the heavyweight division at the moment, involving everyone. Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, Tony Bellew in the mix now as well. What have you made of that whole scene right now?
It's exciting, you know. I think people got into a little bit of a lull with the Vladimir Klitschko era. You know, they wanted to just see the title change hands, and Vladimir just dominated to the point where he actually stopped getting credit for being so dominant. It's a shame, you know, because that was one dominant champion in its prime. But I think it's, regardless of the fact, I think it's made people excited once again about the heavyweight division, the fact that there's a changing of the guard, and you know, nobody is for sure going to stay as a champion. You know, there's always a risk factor, and even now, the risk factor that Vladimir brings as the ex-champion. You know, it's and people get excited about all this stuff.
Happily retired?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good.
Yeah.
Happily eating, you know, it's better.
We never know with you. You know what I mean?
No, with me, you know, this time I never announced it like I did this time. You know, I actually announced it. You know, so it's different. You know, it's always been on my mind for a little while. You know, but I had to actually announce it this time, and I'm not going back.
All right, well listen, I'm sure we'll catch up with you again later on in the week, but Paulie Malignaggi, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV.
Yeah, thank you. Always a pleasure, Cougs. You know, I always got time for IFL TV.
I know.